Princeton come to town and got a couple of good matchups, especially for you guys.
Um, it's, of the dual meets we've wrestled, of course, between Lehigh and the Lehigh and Minnesota match, I think it's probably another top 10 team in dual meets. I don't know where they're ranked, but just on paper, it looks like it could be our toughest dual meet so far. They match up good. They have several good guys. Coach has done a good job there. We wrestled them there last year, and I think it was 27-12 and tight matches and good matches. So, another quality team on their schedule.
Oh, and obviously a couple of top 10 rematches from last year's with Nick and Dakota. How much do you look at last year's matches for those guys to maybe help them prepare for this match?
Oh, not a whole lot. It's a new year, and we really focus on what you've done this season. Each season's a little bit different. Hopefully they're better. 25's a tough matchup. 97, tough matchup. I think there's probably about 6 or 7 matchups that are really very competitive. So it's going to be important that we position ourselves. If we have a chance to get majors, we need to get majors because the dual meet appears very competitive, and several matches could go any way.
They've also got a guy on that team that I'm sure you know quite well with Kenny's son. What was that like last year? What's that going to be like having Quincy in here?
Well, Kenny Mundy and Mike Sheets, they were on the same team together here their entire 4 years. Actually wrestled against each other as seniors in high school, and both of them signed at Oklahoma State, and both of them won national championships. And of course, Kenny went on to win an Olympic gold medal. It's interesting. Quincy's had a great season. On paper, looks to be a heavy favorite. White's going to have to bring his best game to our best performance. I'm glad to see the offspring doing well and being competitive. Kenny or Quincy at Princeton, proud of him and what he's done. And I'm also proud of Wyatt. Wyatt's had a nice comeback, and he's played a good role for us this season, as far as just being tough on the mat and finding ways to win.
How much I know you wanted to push the competition, but how much did the time away from the head-to-head competition of other opponents maybe help health-wise for you guys the past 2 weeks?
I'd much rather be wrestling. I think once you get in the season, the time off not always the best thing, but it can be. We got a lot done. We trained good over the break, and had a good week last week, the entire week, and this week's been good start for us. So, the nice thing is we only have a few guys that really have to work hard at their weight. So you always are focused on weight when you have those big gaps. And for the most part, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Do you think Joe Smith will be ready for this weekend?
No, he will not. There's a weight class, there's a weight dissension that you have to have, and that's what's holding him up right now. Rules, all rules. So that's the reason why he's not competing. If he's healthy, he'll have a chance to wrestle possibly in the next dual meet.
I know last duel you were hopeful that Gfeller could get out there. What's the hope this week for him?
Well, I think that first off, Dusty Holmes, he's been starting for us, and he's done a really good job. Been impressed with him so far. For Gfeller, he got hurt the day before, so it really didn't allow him to do a whole lot. And I think this week it's probably 50-50 as far as whether he's healthy to wrestle. Even if he's healthy to wrestle, he still may not go. I think I got two good guys there that we have a chance to try to continue to develop.
With you and Kenny both winning gold in '88, is it kind of surreal? You know, your son's on your team now. Kenny's son's wrestling.
No,
in
not really. I think because you grew up. We both watched our boys grow up in wrestling, and I followed both Quincy and Kennedy. Kennedy's at North Carolina. So it's just it's their time. It's a different time, and one Kenny Mundy wrestled for Oklahoma State, and he's got one wrestled for Princeton, University of Princeton, and one at North Carolina, and of course Joe's here at Oklahoma State, and took different paths, but it's nice seeing them have success.
Had you tried to recruit either of Kenny's kids?
Yeah, we've recruited them. I think that I think in the end they chose probably their best choice that they could choose. Sometimes Kenny doesn't live in Oklahoma, and that makes it a little bit easier choice to stay close to home, and I think that's what they chose to do.
Do you expect him to be here this weekend?
I hope so. I haven't. You still have that competition. So we probably won't talk this week. We'll probably talk next week. I want my guy to win. Just say that.
How you feeling? The response from Reese after that big win last duel. How have you seen him kind of following that up in the wrestling room?
Well, I think as young as he is, and what he's done up to this point, I just think he needs to continue to build his confidence in his conditioning. I think it's been something that maybe has kept him from really excelling to another level, and hopefully we're kind of moving him in that direction. He's probably worked harder than he ever has, and I think for most guys that come to college, they do. It doesn't always work that way. Some of them don't want to work, some of them, but he's coming from a good school that has been very competitive and wrestled for championships, so that's something in common that is helping him really try to take his wrestling to another level. And of course, and the room and his competition in the room gives him a chance to really, further his conditioning and see himself being able to perform in all situations.
You guys' conditioning has been pretty good this season. Like third period, you guys really come on. What do you guys have to work on differently to get maybe those first period takedowns early?
Yeah, good question. We're trying to figure that out. It's just you step to the mat and you want to you want to be able to bring your performance out from the very start, and don't wait till the match is close or you're in jeopardy to bring out your best. So I think that's why you have a season. You have a season to kind of build on the things that you're learning through the year, and hopefully that's what we're doing. So hopefully we'll see more takedowns early on. We'll see us outscoring, maybe hopefully scoring in the first period. But remember, we got a season to do this, and we've identified that hey, we haven't scored a whole lot in the first period. That's something that needs to change.
You look like you're ready to get out there on the mat yourself. How often do you actually go head-to-head with some of your guys?
My age, you don't go anymore with those guys. No. Now, my 10-year-old, I'm whipping him, but that's in the living room. So my 15-year-old, I still think I can go with him some, but I think it won't be long before I tap out on him too. So no, you don't want to be going live. Yeah, you keep unless you want to be broken up. This is not a sport you do a lifetime.
Yeah, you'll just save your mat time for Kenny.
Yeah, I save my mat time for
Kenny G.
the next life.